I've seen 14,605 futures, and do you want to know in how many of those futures there's a brand new Skylanders game in 2019? Only one. Hey there guys, Portal Master here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the potentiality of a brand new Skylanders game in 2019. We're going to be talking about whether or not I think it's going to happen, and if it is going to happen, when we might learn about it, and why I specifically don't think there will be a brand new Skylanders game this year. So first, let me go ahead and clear something out of the way. So last year around this time we were heading into the beginning of 2018, and the brand new, basically conference call, earnings call, whatever you want to call it, of Activision for their earnings report for 2017 was rolling in. In the past, that is where we would learn about brand new Skylanders games. They would always be announced there. We would not get details on them, but that is where we would get announcements. And last year, I really hyped up that earnings call, even though I myself did not think there would be a brand new Skylanders game revealed there. And I got some backlash for that, and I will not be repeating that mistake this year. So I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I do not think that there will be a brand new Skylanders game in 2019, if that has not already been made clear. I think that eventually there will be another Skylanders game. And I've made many videos stating this concept. I've made many videos stating that I think that eventually there will be a brand new Skylanders console game. If you're asking me, will there be any new Skylanders in 2019? Of course there will be, because we're going to get Skylanders Ring of Heroes released globally. But beyond that, I don't know if we're getting a console game. And let me go ahead and clear something out of the way. I'm very excited for Skylanders Ring of Heroes. This video is going to talk about how much I want a Skylanders console game. I'm not hating on Ring of Heroes in this video. I am, however, a console gamer first and foremost, and I want Skylanders to be on consoles. So as much as I enjoy Ring of Heroes, it's never going to be a Skylanders console game. Let me clear that out of the way. Still excited for Ring of Heroes, still going to do content on it, but I want a Skylanders console game, and you know, there's a lot of caveats I'm going to have to be making in this video. So, okay, why do I not think there's going to be a Skylanders console game this year? First and foremost, what evidence do we have to suggest there will be one? Okay, so normally I'm kind of like, we don't have a reason that it's not going to happen, but see, we also don't have a reason that it will happen. Saying that a new Skylanders game is going to happen this year just because would have been like me going back in time to 2011 and saying there's going to be a new Spyro game this year just because, or in 2013 and saying there's going to be a new Crash Bandicoot game just because, you know? There's nothing that says there won't be, so therefore there will be. Okay, that's flawed logic. You can't just say that there's no information out there suggesting there won't be a Skylanders console game, because, in fact, there's none suggesting that there will be, so it's, you know, you understand what I'm trying to say. We have no reason to think there's going to be a Skylanders console game, and I haven't seen any evidence suggesting that there will be. Not to mention that all of the developers for Skylanders in the past are all tied up right now. We've got 3 potential developers of any Skylanders game at any given point in time, and those were Toys for Bob, Vicarious Visions, and then of course Beanox. Well, Beanox is making Crash Team Racing. Vicarious Visions just got done making Crash Bandicoot, and Toys for Bob just got done making Spyro. Now, theoretically, they could have been working on a Skylanders game alongside of Spyro, or alongside of Crash Bandicoot, but let's be honest, almost every inside report seems to suggest that that is not the case. It seems as if Toys for Bob is working on some other project, probably Spyro related, and Vicarious Visions is probably working on another project, presumably actually mainline series Crash Bandicoot related. I think genuinely that Vicarious Visions will release a brand new Crash Bandicoot game in a couple years, and that Toys for Bob in a few years will release a brand new Spyro game. They can't develop Skylanders if they're developing another game. So that's another big reason why I don't see how there could be another Skylanders game this year. Who would make it? Who is just going to magically make Skylanders? You need developers for this, and considering that the bulk of their teams have been tied up making Spyro and Crash Bandicoot games for the past several years, I don't see how that's going to happen. I truly do not see how that's a possibility. On top of this, almost every time in the past that there was going to be a brand new Skylanders game, we received some sort of leaked information about them. No such leak has occurred so far. Almost every single game that is ever released these days is not a surprise. There's almost always a leak, almost always something that comes out beforehand. We have not gotten any such thing for Skylanders. Nothing at all for any Skylanders console game. There's no reason, once again, to believe that we have any reason to think that there should be a Skylanders game. And it irks me because I see a lot of people out there, and I understand that, you know, there's so many fanboys of this franchise, and they just so want a brand new Skylanders game. But there's no evidence to suggest that's going to be the case. And yes, I understand saying we want a new game and stuff like that, but y'all, I just don't see how it could happen so far. But wait, you say Portal Master, you do think that eventually there will be another Skylanders game, right? You've said that before, you've said it in this video, you've said it in many videos, you think there will be another Skylanders game. But why don't you think it's going to be this year? When do you think this game is going to happen? If it's not this year. But let's talk about when I do think that it could happen. My personal best guess as to when brand new Skylanders could happen, next-gen consoles, whenever they come out. 2020 or 2021, probably 2021 at this point is when it's looking like a lot of those consoles will actually come out. I genuinely think that a brand new Skylanders game will be released in the fall of 2021 as a 10-year anniversary for Skylanders Spyro's Adventure on the next generation consoles with a new piece of technology that was not even around when Skylanders was originally popular. I genuinely think this. The entire premise of Skylanders was to have sort of a brand new technology, guy, if I can actually hold this character. You put it on the portal, it scans it in, and it's super freaking cool, right? That was the entire premise of Skylanders. Toys to Life is pretty much out of the market, you know? They released Starlink Battle for Atlas, and although Starlink right here did sell decently well, it did not sell as well as Toys to Life games have in the past. It sold much better than Lightseekers, but compared to any other console Toys to Life games, it did not sell that well. The digital versions actually sold better from what I have heard than the actual physical copies. People don't really like Toys to Life anymore, and when I say people, I don't mean the fanboys. Of course, the fanboys like me would continue to buy many, many more Toys to Life products if they were released. However, I'm talking about the general audiences. Fanboys alone cannot actually account for the popularity of a game. You can't just sell to the fanboys. You need to sell to the masses. And to simply put it, these things are never going to be sellable to the masses anytime soon. Maybe someday, but not right now. So, again, though, why 2021? You know, so first up I said next-gen consoles, and I said new technology. I genuinely think that Skylanders, when it's brought back, will be nothing like it was to start with. I think that it'll use the original characters from the original games, but I don't think it's going to be anything like any of the Toys to Life games that we ever experienced for Skylanders. I think that it'll be a hack-and-slash dungeon crawler game that has the similar gameplay to the original Skylanders games, but probably different in ways that we cannot expect. But I genuinely, and I don't know how many times I can say this, they are gonna reboot Skylanders someday. Someday it will happen. That day is not today, but someday it will happen. I wholeheartedly believe that. I will argue this until the end of days. If it gets to 2021, we still don't have a Skylanders game, then I'm still going to be saying the same thing. They will someday bring back Skylanders. Someday, somehow, someway, this will not stay dead forever. There will be a reboot, a hard reboot of the Skylanders franchise in some way or another. And I know that deep down in my heart. Let's talk a bit more about the parent company, though, Activision Blizzard. Of course, you know Activision is responsible for Skylanders and many, many other franchises that we know and love. However, Activision is not doing as well as it was a few years back. Especially Activision Blizzard, the pair of them together, are not doing as well as they used to do. Don't get me wrong. A, I'm not an investor, but also B, you know, so like, don't take my word for this, but also the thing is, Activision's not going to go bankrupt. They're not at risk of going bankrupt, but to say that they're not doing as well as they were before just means that they're not selling nearly as many games. Their games aren't growing year over year, and they're going to have to do a hard look at themselves to figure out what they can change about the company to make them sell more games. And after Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, they did take a step back and they did reevaluate how they needed to refocus the Call of Duty franchise in order to make it better. And currently, I'm going to talk about Blizzard here for a second. Currently, Blizzard is going through a little bit of an internal strife, if you will. Of course, I'm sure you heard about the Diablo Immortal pushback, and a lot of people were very annoyed by this fact. Diablo 4 seems to be, you know, light years away from actually becoming a thing. It someday will be, but right now it's just this nebulous concept floating off in space. You've got Overwatch. Overwatch is still selling, but not anywhere near as well as it was a few years back. Heroes of the Storm is scaling back on its development. World of Warcraft's brand new expansion was actually not as well received as the remasters of the original Warcraft games. Blizzard, although it is still doing okay, is not doing as well as it would have hoped. This last BlizzCon truly revealed that. Activision, you could say the same thing about it. Destiny is not doing as well as they hoped it would. Destiny 2 is actually receiving a lot of pushback, and previously I stated that I thought Activision was going to fix these problems, and they're not. They're digging a hole even more for Destiny. Call of Duty is Call of Duty. I mean, Black Ops 4 was received about as well as you'd expect for a Call of Duty game, but that's not ever going to be enough for Activision. They need to see exceptional performance. They want people to not just buy base games anymore, they want them to buy all the expansions. That's what happened with Destiny. Destiny 2 sold very, very well. The expansions, however, did not. I'm one of those people. I bought Destiny 2. I did not buy any of the expansions for it. The point that I'm trying to make here by going vastly off topic from Skylanders is that Activision Blizzard is going to have to do a honest-to-goodness step back from what they're currently doing, figure out what they need to fix, and they're honestly, I think, going to be restructuring a lot of the way they do a lot of their franchises. Honestly, Activision's best decisions as of late have honestly been Crash Bandicoot and the Spyro Reignited trilogy. Honestly, one of the best business decisions that Activision has made since I've really started following them, you know, for Skylanders, probably after the step back after Infinite Warfare, is probably delaying the Spyro Reignited trilogy. That's about the best thing they could have done. Activision is stubborn, but not unfixable. And I think that one day they're gonna fix this thing. They're gonna bring it back. You don't just create one of the most successful children's franchises of all time and leave it to rot. You don't do that. I've said that a million times, and I'll say it again. Skylanders will come back, but this is not the year. It's 2019, I don't think, is the year. But I did say that out of the 14,605,000 futures that I've seen, there's one, to quote Dr. Strange, basically. Not really exactly at all, but you know, that's the gist of what he said. So what is the one reality where it does happen? The one reality where they do bring Skylanders back? Well, everything that I just said is going to be true, but they have some kind of dark horse developer we've never heard of before that's been rebooting it in the shadows this entire time and is actually going to release it this year. It's an incredibly low chance it could happen. Really, really, really low. But it could. When would we hear about this game? The first possible choice would be February the 7th at their 2019 earnings call for the 2018 financial year. That would be the first possible date we could hear about a brand new Skylanders game. However, I don't think that's when it would be if there was a new game. I don't know when it would be. It would be sometime between February 7th and the beginning of E3 in June. Sometime in there. Anytime in February, anytime in March, anytime in April, anytime in May, and of course the beginning of June. But genuinely, if there is not a brand new Skylanders game revealed by E3 2019, there will not be a Skylanders game this year. And I will say that with 100% definitiveness. Basically, I'll make another video once we know for a fact it's not happening, but let's be honest, it's not happening at this point, probably, although there is a slight chance, so we should, at the very least, keep our eyes peeled. That being said, there is still more to come for Skylanders. Of course, we've got Ring of Heroes, and we have the possibility of Season 4 of Skylanders Academy. Now, Skylanders Academy Season 4, we still don't know anything about if it's even going to happen. I'm going to have another video out on that soon, but this is pretty much all I have to say for today about Skylanders 7 in 2019, and I mean that's really about it. Tell me what you think down in the comments. I'd be very interested to see what you guys have to say about this topic. If you would like more information, do check out this video that I made several months ago titled Skylanders 7 was cancelled. It's a very interesting video that talks about how there was more than likely a proposed Skylanders 7 that was actually cancelled following Imaginator's perceived failure. That's a very interesting video, revealed a lot of information about the Skylanders franchise, and I highly recommend you guys check that video out. It's one of my most viewed videos of all time. It's got some very interesting information that I do think you guys should check out. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. This has been Portal Master. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and shout out to all my patrons on Patreon, especially the Collector Creepypasta, Portal Power TV, and Nacho S. See you guys next time.